just like this. And that's where we were. We were now up on the 3rd floor. We started out in a room that size. And that was the genesis of the company. And I'm here to talk kind of about how we approach being a startup, as well as how we almost think of ourselves as a small business, which is very unlike a startup. Can you guys, in the back here, okay? All right, good. So, it's lunch. Your blood has now gone to your stomach because you've eaten food, and also we brought out beer, unlike your normal lunches, I'm sure. So I'm going to stick with a small number of lessons here, all right? Since I don't want to bore you guys to death. But we'll start with who we are. If you're not familiar with the Cheezburger Network, we are ICANN's Cheezburger, Failblog, Failbook, and 50 other websites. We are one of the largest humor networks in the world, and I believe we're the most popular startup in Seattle by the amount of traffic we do. We generate more than 1 billion page views every 3 months. We reach about 16 million people. We have the #1 comedy channel on all of YouTube. We just crossed 1 billion views on YouTube alone. And we're the #5 watch channel in YouTube of all time. And we did that in a little less than 2 years. So we started out as a cat picture blog, to be honest. You're looking at one of our t-shirts that I'm wearing, and basically people started capturing funny cat photos on the internet, right? And before that, though, like in the 1970s, there was this, right? The Hanging There Baby poster. Like this is like one of your older lolcats, right? And so people have always had an amazing fascination with their pets, especially cats. And this started out actually not with us, but with other online forums such as 4chan, which I'm sure you don't want to go to at work, Something Awful, all these other places in which people wanted to kind of have fun and enjoy themselves. And so this product, quote unquote, came out of the passion of random users who wanted to have fun and enjoy themselves online. And so when we came along, it was 2 people in Hawaii. The girlfriend sent this image that said ICANN's Cheezburger to her boyfriend in Hawaii. He turned around and bought the domain name ICANN's Cheezburger with a Z, no SE or no ZE, just like that, and a site was born. And so they can call themselves Cheezburger and Tofu Burger, which is the name that myself and my wife, who's our editor, have adopted. And in just a little over a month after they started, they were running out of traffic that their hosting provider was allocated. They don't know how it actually got started in terms of growth. Like they were just enjoying this blog among themselves. They may or may not have told a couple of friends, and all of a sudden the internet was coming to them, sending photos of their cats with misspelled captions on them. Right? This is a product that's born out of love. Right? It's a challenge that I think a lot of people struggle with, which is that you run a startup, you run a business, and maybe you've turned a passion into work and you don't really love it anymore. But it's something that we really encourage people to do, which is if you're passionate about what you do, that comes across in your product. And there's so many products out there in the world that people are not passionate about. Why should I pick that over a product that I do have passion on? Right? If you can give me a piece of your soul through that product, I will have a connection with you that'll allow me to love that product. And if you love that product, this is an economy that's no longer about just transactions and attention spans. This is really an economy that social networking has created that's about relationships. And if you can't build that relationship through your product to your customer, I think there's a big problem. So the way we approach it is, if we don't love it, we're not going to put it out there. Like we need to enjoy the same products that we create for our users. The second lesson here is simple is best. Our very first submission system for accepting lolcat photos was email. You would attach it to your email, and you would send it to a Gmail address. And that's how the entire system started. Well, at one point we thought we should probably do a little bit more than that. So we had a weekend project, and we built the Lol Builder. And this is actually kind of a technical diagram. So, oddly enough, it starts out on the right side. Cats are fleeing this monster, the Lolrus, and the system takes cat photos, and it processes it through this, painting system where you can add letters, like "K, thanks," and then it formats it into JPEG, and it outputs to the other side, and therefore you have a cheeseburger with a cat in it. I kid you not, this is actually a description. So I'll give you a little bit more than a diagram. This is the most detailed specification for one of the most frequently used photo editing systems in the world, which is our Lol Builder. People go in there tens of thousands of times every week and generate photos with captions on it. You can actually upload any photo and add a caption. This is the spec, caption line A, B, and C. The green block is the photo. So somebody asked, what if the caption is too long? And then we answered, there are 4 possible options. 1, if the caption is too long, auto-scale it down. Sounds like a smart move, but then you end up with some other problems, like they don't really match up, right? The fonts look funny. Well, you can wrap the text, but then you might end up with like 18 lines of text in the photo. That's not good. So we didn't do that either. And we said, why don't we warn the user, you cross that magical border at the end of the photo, we're like, sorry, you got too long. Well, that seemed really disruptive when you're trying to be creative. So the only logical remaining solution was to do absolutely nothing, in which this occurs. If you type in a caption and it's too long, it goes right up the edge of the screen. It doesn't even turn red. You just keep going, and you miss your cursor, and you're like, where am I? I don't understand what happened to my cursor. And then, you know what you do? You try again. Right? So what happens is people sit there and learn how to use the builder in literally a matter of minutes. That went too long. This is how you change the font size. And they try over and over and over again until they build a habit. Amazing how this works. We chose to do absolutely nothing because it was a weekend project, and lo and behold, it is the best behavior we could have encouraged, right? Do it over and over again.
Worked for me.
There you go. So we learned something there. We thought human nature has a tendency to admire complexity, right? We love to look at things that are complex. Look at the internet of tubes. It's so complicated. They send cats through it really fast. Or the space shuttle. We sent man to space. But we don't want to buy that stuff. Who wants a space shuttle in their backyard? It's kind of large and costs a lot of money to run. We do love things like Bing, because it shows you a photo when you show up in the morning, and look at that. I can scroll over and see little tidbits of text, right? It's almost like a gimme. Like, oh, I was just going to do this anyway, but it's so much simpler and so much cleaner. I really enjoy this experience, right? The iPhone, for example, a featureless phone that everybody wants, right? And I think they released a new feature where you hold it funny, it hangs up for you. That's really awesome. And then the last thing that we learned, operating like a small business startup, is to trust your instincts. I know a lot of you guys, if you're filing for a business plan, you're looking at all the data, you're looking at the numbers, the market size, the competition, all of that. But in your gut, you pretty much know what this business should be about. And when you're small and when you're nimble and you don't have the data, sometimes you just have to go with your gut. So this is a not-to-scale diagram of the size of the sun and the size of the Earth. This is my graph when we show market size. That's our market, the big red dot. Well, how big is that compared to the blue dot? Well, the blue dot is all the content that media companies, professional content creators create. How much content is that? I don't know. So what's the red part? That's how much content we create, the users. Well, how much content is that? I don't know. But I know that it's 1 billion times more massive than the professionally created content. So if we can go in here and extract the best and the funniest and the most viral out of what our users do, we will dwarf what the media companies can create. And we can do it cheaper, faster, better than anybody else. That's our business plan, right? This slide that contains no numbers, but a gut instinct illustration of the power of the users. And so, we decided that we were going to launch new websites. These are the first 6 websites we launched after we bought I Can and Cheezburger. Why did we do these? Because I found them funny. No market research, no observations of any kind. Somebody sent me a link, I thought it was funny, so we built a site. And we've succeeded. Because we know that we are passionate about our content, and because we know that at the end of the day, the user has a far greater knowledge base than we've ever given them credit for. We've always assumed that content creation had been done professionally, but not anymore. The internet's totally changed the rules. So, the completely ironic part about all this is that, unlike most startups, we were able to turn a profit since we started. And that's the part that kind of boggles everybody's mind, is that we took one round of investment when we first got started, and we haven't taken any since. And we're very fortunate to do that. And I think this is one of the things where entrepreneurs get hung up, which is, I have a business, I need to raise money. I'm like, do you really need to raise money? Or can you just make money? Can you just be a business? Do you not, you don't have to give a portion of your company to generate a profit. And it's something that we're afraid of. But I think at the end of the day, everybody knows that if you make $1 more than you lose, or $1 more than you spend, if you turn $1 of profit, you could do what you need to do for the rest of your life. You lose $1 more than you make, then there's a timeline in which you will go extinct. And you'll have to raise money or borrow money or do what you have to do. But that $1 makes an amazing difference. So we ascribe to that philosophy of turning a profit. So, what you have here is an office that was filled with 35 people. right? Not exactly a comfortable environment, probably not the most productive environment. That used to be my office, which was a server closet with no windows and no ventilation. But that's what we did, so we can turn $1 more than we lost. And that's all I have to say. This is my Twitter and my website. And Scott, our CTO, will come up next and talk to you about